Hey everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping with Natalie, or welcome to if you are new. Today's video we are going to be putting actually a swarm into a 10 frame instead of just a nuke. But they are in basically a nuke box. This is actually a swarm box is what we call it, because you can put it on a tree right here, you can put it on there and then try to catch a swarm. And so usually that's what we use them for. We don't do it as often anymore, but my dad actually went out and caught this on Wednesday. It's Saturday now. And so we're going to check to see how much they have drawn out. We don't really do swarms a whole lot anymore. The only ones we tend to get are the ones that are in our own yard, and sometimes don't even work out. And so usually if they're local and not too far and it looks like a nice size, we'll go and get them. And so he went ahead and did that. The one thing about swarms though is that they can just build a ton of wax. They can put a bunch of comb on that foundation and build it out completely. And so that's one thing that they're really nice with. We're gonna check out the queen, see how she looks. I should be able to find her. I think there's only 6 frames in here, but I think they are looking pretty big. So we're gonna go ahead and move them into a 10 frame. Right now we have a really nice flow on. We've got a couple different things going on. Black locust is still doing pretty good, I believe. We did just get a ton of rain. I was a little bit worried about that just to see if it was gonna kind of ruin the flow for us, but I don't think it did. I think really all it did was kind of help us out a little bit. So let's check out to see how they look. So we really know nothing about these bees just because they're a swarm. Hopefully they're not ours. So yeah, they're pretty full. I usually like to just take a quick look on the lid, especially this time of the year, just to see if the queen is on there. Just give them a little bit of smoke. So all of this except one of the frames is foundation. So this looks like they're filling it or drawing it out, and it feels like it's got a little bit of weight to it, so they might be backfilling it. So they're slowly getting to this side. Looks like they are drawing this side out and they are filling that up. Just kind of looking around for her. I'm going to set this down. So this was already drawn out, I believe, just to give her immediate space to lay and then for them to start filling it up. So this is full of eggs. Yeah, I just had to make sure. So this is full of eggs here and they're filling it up a little bit. I would kind of expect her to be on this frame, but actually she might be on the new foundation frames. It's a little bit harder to see just because this foundation is yellow, and so it's a little bit hard to see those eggs. We like to use the black foundation because the eggs are white, so it's a little bit easier to see. I love the look of fresh comb. So you can see right here, it's just bright white and it just looks really nice. So this is all new. Got some pollen in there. Looks about the same. Not seeing her. I'll still keep my eye out. She might be on that frame I just checked. With these queens, they could be really dark and a little bit harder to spot. It looked like she had pretty much filled this up though with eggs, so she might be looking for a new spot to lay on this frame. Again, looks about the same here. So this is also new comb. Same thing. Not seeing her yet. All right, I got one more frame to check here. I'm gonna put this frame back. not sure if that bee went into my shirt or not. It's all right. We'll find out here in a little bit. This frame looks like it's been chewed a little bit by something. I'm not sure if this was already drawn out or not. Looks like it might have been. And I'm not seeing her either. I'm gonna go back and look on that first frame just to see if she's on there. There's a ton of bees on the bottom here though. So they're full and ready to go into a 10 frame, which is what we're gonna do today. All right, let's go back to that first frame, see if she's on there. That's where I thought she would be, but I didn't see her. Sometimes these queens are a little crazy and they'll be like just on the box somewhere, like on the bottom maybe. Which is very possible. Really just in any hive actually. Ah, yep, there she is, missed her. So she's pretty dark, which could have been why I missed her. She is. She's pretty big. She looks like an older queen, she's not as fluffy. Just looks like it, and typically that's what a swarm queen is. They're usually the older queen. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark her. I don't know what year she is, but I'm not gonna mark her pink or red, I guess is what this year is. We're doing pink this year just because it's a little bit easier to see. So I marked the queen in my last video, and so I just, oh, looked like she was about to lay an egg. I showed marking a queen in my last video. It's hard to like show. So the marker I have in here is the one that Corey Stevens donated to us. He doesn't know that yet, but he might be finding that out in this video. It got brought home with us on our trip over there. Actually, I think there was 2 markers that I brought home. So from Nathan also, he handed me a Sharpie. Took that one home too. And it's lost, I don't know where it is. So thank you. Okay, so I grab her by her thorax. I don't want to touch her abdomen at all. I'm just gonna give her a nice blue dot. Just like that. I usually get it on my fingers a little bit. We're gonna put her back in here. There she is. Just gonna get right back to what she was doing, which looked like she was laying eggs, looking in those cells. She looks great though. So that's why sometimes going and getting a swarm is not a bad idea, just because it can be really helpful sometimes, and it's a really easy way to build your amount of hives you have. I think my hive tool dropped over here. All right, so yeah, it's always nice to see a swarm doing well. We've had a few swarms that there was one that I just quickly shook into a box and then got back to what I was doing. Didn't pay too much attention to them, and so they ended up leaving. But that's okay. It took me probably 2 minutes to do that. I'm gonna basically put this back together a little bit. I'm just gonna set this one over here actually, and I'm going to, my last video was basically on this, but different types of hives. So we have a 4-way pallet here, and so the bottom board is basically already built in, and then I've got this freshly waxed it box, hasn't been used. It's already got foundation frames. I'm just giving them foundation because they have comb now, and we gave them comb before, and they will probably draw this all out. So they had 6, I believe, was in there. And I'm just gonna move them on over. They don't seem too bad. They're not too mean. So I'm just gonna put it back the same way it was in this box. So this frame is gonna go right here, and then this frame is gonna go right next to it, which she was on, I think. They're kind of crazy though, they're very, very quick. I'm not seeing her. feel like I might have saw her. It's like all the bees moved down to the bottom there. I thought I saw her on the side here. I'm gonna keep putting these back. And then maybe I'll find her. This is fun. This is usually how it goes. So I guess I missed this earlier, but she did lay in this comb also. She's got that blue dot on her, so it should be easy to find, but maybe she's just not on here. Just looking down into the box a little bit, seeing if she's on there. Like on the side of the box, maybe on the bottom. Interesting. I know that she was on that frame when I put her back in there. I tried not to smush her too when I put it back in there, but maybe I did. Promise this doesn't happen often. It's just every time we pull out the camera. I'm not seeing her. Maybe I missed her again. Or maybe she was on the bottom of the frame and I just never saw her. Might be going back through and looking again. I don't know if you can see, but like there's a ton of bees in this box right now, so either way, if she has that blue dot on her or not, it's still kind of hard to find her. Let's just look on the box a little bit more. I don't see her. Let's go back to the first frame that she was on. See if maybe she was on that bottom part. I just want to make sure I find her before I put it all back together. That way I know that they still have a queen. At this point, she could be in either boxes on the bottom. All right, I went through and I ended up shaking them. We found her, or I found her. I'm just kidding. She's up here. She looks fine. Anyways, that was fun. I was thinking I was just gonna have to hope for the best. Even if I was, she would have been in there, so that's good. I did go ahead and shake the bees out of here. So there's a few bees in there. I'll probably give them one more shake and a little bit here. But that ended up working out. If you don't find the queen, like I said, it's just shaking all those bees into that box and then coming back a couple days, see if there's eggs and maybe if you find her. So she seems to be a little crazy, so we're not gonna keep going through these. We're gonna go ahead and close them up. That way, nothing else happens here. But they are already on that foundation. Looks like they're already starting to build it up. So that's exciting, and that's pretty much all we're gonna do on this hive. And now we're basically just gonna treat it like every other hive. So it is nice to do some swarms every now and then because they can really help out, especially if you're a newer beekeeper and you don't have any drawn comb. It's really, really nice to have. And so sometimes it's a good idea to go ahead and catch a swarm. That way you can get more drawn comb. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section. And thanks for watching this video. Follow along for more bee adventures and be here next time on Beekeeping with Natalie.